Well, there's 3 bibs for each, but yeah. Isn't that crazy?
This is such a fun bib.
We are in Mammoth Lakes, California, and I'm racing the Mammoth Trail Fest 26K tomorrow. The race is tomorrow morning, and my sister's here too, as usual, just kind of hiding a bit. Pikes Peak was definitely a wake-up call in the way that these races are just so different, and there's even more elements to consider than other races I've done before, but on the track or roads. There's weather, there's varying terrain, grades, varying severities of altitude. So this last week I've kind of taken to reflect and try to learn from that experience, because I wasn't very happy with how the race went, and the only way to really move forward from that is to figure out how to prevent that same feeling from happening. Yeah, just trying to never let that happen again.
We're focusing on.
I am shaking a lot, and I don't know if I'm cold or nervous. It's a combo of both, but I don't know which one's contributing more heavily.
Seattle, Washington's Allie Ostrander in this group. Way to finish strong, athletes. Just walks right at 3:03:05. Very respectable time.
After Pikes, I almost didn't ever even do Mammoth, because I was like, why would I do that again? I'm clearly not ready to trail race. I'm not prepared for this. That was not a good experience, and I'm only going to dig myself into a deeper hole by going into another race that I'm not ready for. So to be able to have the courage to show up on the start line, and it was like a big momentum boost for me. Whatever sport I've ever been a part of, I've always wanted to be a student of the sport. When I was younger, that was soccer, and I'd look up, training tips and videos and stuff and try to figure out how I could be my best. And then for a long time, it was track and cross country, and became very knowledgeable about those sports. And now it's kind of about converting that sort of fitness over to the trails. And that's definitely an art in itself. And I'm trying to learn as much as I can about translating from one sport to the other, taking what I've learned and learning more, and just basically trying to figure out how I can be the best possible athlete. And there's always just nuances in whatever new field you're entering. Last summer, NNormal had a team camp in Chamonix, France, and when we were there, we did some physiological testing where we were just strapped up with all sorts of monitors, monitoring blood oxygen and muscle oxygen and heart rate and all this stuff. We did a really hard 20-minute uphill and then an hour-long, pretty high-intensity run. From those results, Jesus said that I actually was not able to reach my physiological potential during the uphill section. My heart rate was not getting to the max, even though I felt like my effort was at the max. I think the biggest thing that I put into my training was that I want to be able to reach my physiological potential when I'm going uphill in a trail race. And at that point, I was not able to. Because just muscularly, I wasn't strong enough to put out that sort of power to, put enough stress on my heart to have that sort of a heart rate that would indicate a max effort. So we started incorporating more higher end neuromuscular power output training, doing really fast strides or VO2 max hills, because based on my physiology, I have a really strong threshold, but then my VO2 max and just high end power output were lacking a little bit. And when you are in a trail race that has some really steep grades in places, or it starts out super fast and then, you know, relaxes into the actual race pace, it's important to be able to handle those like high bursts of power that are required, and being able to pass your lactate threshold and handle that. And so we started working on that so that I wouldn't just feel completely gassed if I went anywhere above my threshold. At Pikes, I didn't feel like I was really engaged in the race because I was engaged in survival and just really having a tough time. But at Mammoth, I was actually competing with other people and kind of going back and forth with them, you know, during both the climb and the descent. So that was really fun. At the top, I think I got to the top in 9th, and I was feeling really confident that I could kind of rip the down and hopefully pass some people. And at first I did. I passed like 2 people almost right away and was like cruising and gaining momentum. And then I rolled my ankle, and then I kind of was like, okay, I gotta like recompose myself. And I kept going down, and I got passed by Tabor Hemming, but then I was like, oh, I'll keep up with her. So then I was keeping up with her, and we caught up to another girl. So 3 of us were running together, and it was, you know, it was fun. I was like, wow, we're just like in a race, like all of us pack running, this is cool. And then I like rolled my ankle really bad, and I fell, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know if I can keep going. I was kind of limping on it, and Elise Poncet actually like stopped and checked on me and asked if I was okay, and like helped me get up. And she was like, you're gonna be okay, you just rolled your ankle, like it's okay. And is someone that, you know, that came from a track background, and that was my experience. You fall in a race, the race is over. Like you're not catching up. And so to like have an experience and have an experienced trail runner there to like talk me through that and make me realize like that's a normal thing to happen in a trail race, and that I could continue on, was so valuable because I just wasn't used to it. So overall, it was a really positive experience, and like I learned a lot, and I really had a good time in the race, just being able to compete with people, go through like a lot of different emotions during the course of the race, and end up feeling very like accomplished, you know. To be able to have the courage to show up on the start line and be able to finish and get top 10, it was like a big momentum boost for me.